everybody.
Good evening.
Mr. Evans, safety and service.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. We're going to have Ms. Natalie Bass, our Deputy County Manager, to read our safety instructions.
To provide for the safety of those attending this meeting, I want to give the following instructions in case of an emergency. First, please take a moment to note where your exits are. If an emergency arises that prompts us to evacuate, I ask that everyone exit this room in a quick and orderly manner through one of the two exterior doors, one to your right and the other behind you. Once you exit the building, we ask that you safely cross Granville Street to our parking lot to be safely away from the building. Our staff will provide direction and assistance. In the case of a tornado warning, we ask that you exit this room into the hallway, where we will remain until it is safe to exit. In the event of an active shooter in the building, we will run if there is an accessible escape path and try to evacuate the premises. Hide if you can't evacuate. Find a place to hide where you are less likely to be found, and lock any doors that you can. And fight as a last resort and only if your life is in imminent danger. Our staff will provide assistance on what to do. Thank you for your attention.
God, we give thanks for today, for life, health, and strength, for every blessing you bestowed upon us. Now bless our lives, and we for the things we got in the better place to live, as we serve those who you give unto us. Bless and keep us in your name.
In the basic correction, hearing none, is there a motion to approve? Second. All in favor, let it be known by the voting sign aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing none, the minutes are approved. Schedule appointments, Mr. Evans.
Yes, sir, Mr. Wiggins. Tonight we have Ms. Violet Anderson, who's our registered deeds. She's here with some of her staff who has made a recommendation for your consideration of a resolution to recognize Mr. John Newton, who unfortunately, as you know, he recently passed away. And if you have in your agenda package this resolution, and I've asked Mr. Michael Peters if he would read this resolution for us. Yes, sir.
Wait on me.
Mr. Chairman, whereas although Jonathan Leo Newton John was not an employee of Edgecombe County, he worked for many years as an independent title researcher in Edgecombe County, where he became such a vital aspect of the community of citizens, register of deeds personnel, and local attorneys who relied on his services, that he maintained his own corner office in the records vault. And whereas John's passion for and knowledge of the history of Edgecombe County was only matched by his untiring desire to help others by freely sharing his knowledge and talents with staff members, local attorneys, and Edgecombe County citizens with patience, grace, and an excitement to explore the records. And whereas John was steadfastly committed to serving those who needed his knowledge and research skills, even when he was busy with his own hectic workload, and he graciously set aside his own work to give generously of his time to help and teach anyone struggling with their own search of family history or tribal records. And whereas, as the floodwaters of Hurricane Floyd rose in the Edgecombe County Register of Deeds Records Vault in the Edgecombe County Courthouse, John, on his own time, initiated and led the effort to carry the hundreds of heavy volumes of property records up from the basement vault to be saved from being forever washed away with history. And whereas John passed away unexpectedly on February 25th, 2021, while on his way to work in the office of the Register of Deeds of Edgecombe County. And whereas John was a lifelong Edgecombe County resident and a tremendous asset to his family, his church, county staff members, attorneys, and his county and its citizens, and his absence will be mourned by all those who knew and loved him, and the countless who benefited from his eager and generous service. And whereas on March 12, 2021, Violet R. Anderson, Edgecombe County Register of Deeds, held a memorial service in the Register of Deeds office and dedicated a plaque at the entrance to the records vault that reads, "To Jonathan Leo Newton John, Records Vault, in dedication of his many years of devotion to the public, local attorneys, and the Edgecombe County Register of Deeds office personnel, March 12, 2021. Now therefore be it resolved that the Edgecombe County Board of Commissioners, with the consent of Violet R. Anderson, Register of Deeds, hereby ordains that the Records Vault in the office of the Edgecombe County Register of Deeds will be officially known as the Jonathan Leo Newton John Records Vault. Adopted this the 5th day of April 2021. Leonard Wiggins, Chairman, Edgecombe County Board of Commissioners."
Can we put it up? Question? All in favor, let it be known by the voting sign of aye. All opposed? Hearing none, the resolution is adopted. Ms. Anderson, you might want to say
I'd like to thank Ms. Anderson for bringing this to our attention. Is there anything you'd like
any
to say?
comments?
Just thank y'all. I can't comment. She might say.
All right.
Thank
Well,
you.
thank you for bringing this to our attention.
It was a really good source.
Go ahead. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Next, I'd like to have Ms. Caroline Chappelle come to the podium for our monthly COVID update. As you see, as I provided an updated packet, those numbers continue to grow, though they have slowed even globally. It's still something of course we're concerned about. I'd like to turn it over to Karen for her update.
Good evening. As of today, we have, the report that I got today, we have 5,016 cases of COVID-19 in the county. We've had over the last year. That was an increase from last week, about 123 cases. It goes up and down each week. Sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less. But we still do feel it's important to continue to test in Edgecombe County. So we still are supporting the Optum Serve, which is in Heritage Park in Princeville and in Pine Tops behind the town hall. And of course, you can still be tested at the multi-specialty clinic, OIC, and Freedom Hill in Princeville, all those cases. So I just want to do a little breakdown again of the cases that we have had. Still, the group of age 25 to 49 has the majority of our cases at 1,797. More females have had COVID than males. More whites have had COVID than any other race. Whites have had 2,035 cases, and blacks or African Americans have had 1,847. Hospitalized is 373 have been hospitalized in that. We have had some additional deaths since the last time I was here to update you. We now have 111 deaths. Of those, the majority of the deaths have come from the age group of 75 plus. 52 of the 111 cases were from the outbreaks that we had in long-term care facilities. More males have died from COVID than females. And 59, which is 53%, whites have passed away from COVID. And 49, which is 44%, have been black or African American. We continue to give vaccines at the health department. It's slowed down a lot. We've given over 12,000 vaccines in our clinic. It is declining in both offices in Tarboro and Rocky Mount. Offices we gave in, I think today about 150, where at one time we were giving a little over 200. It's slowed down, but we're still giving plenty. We still have the Moderna vaccine, which is 95% effective. We're still giving them Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. in both offices. But in May, we're looking back at cutting back some of the clinic hours and opening up our clinics back to the regular business of public health that we've been doing. The reason for decline is a lot of people have wanted the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, which we have not had any yet. The state is using that for large events and for the migrant population. We have also, another reason is we've had several more sites come on board that can give the vaccine. And I'm just going to go through and list all the ones that you can get a vaccine from. In Edgecombe County, you can get one from Freedom Hill, which is over in Princeville, of the Health Department, of course, Monday through Friday, 9 to 4. OIC Family Medicine at Fairview, and also the OIC Specialty Care Center. Pine Tops Pharmacy, you can get it there. Rural Health Group in Whitaker's, Vita Multi-Specialty Clinic, Thorn Drugs, you can also get it there. Bryan Drugs, Walmart, and Walgreens. That's the ones that I know about. A lot of those you do have to have an appointment for, and some of them you can go online and get the appointment. We're currently working with businesses and industries to provide on-site vaccination clinics. If they have, 30 or 40 people that we would like to go. If not, we'll get the numbers from the individuals, discuss it. Basically, we discuss it with the plant manager to see how they can work it out. And if we can work it out, we go on-site. We have 2 scheduled already to go, one in Johnson Controls, and hopefully tomorrow we'll have the one finalized for ABB out in Pine Tops. But we have sent out through our Health Works group a whole list to the listserv offering this, and we have gotten some back, and we'll have them coming in the health department because they only have a few to get that. We also continue to extend to take care of homebound individuals, anyone that has to use a rescue squad to transport them back and forth to the doctor. We've been doing this for quite a while, going in home to provide the vaccine. And we also ask when individuals make an appointment if they are easily able to get in and out of the car. If not, we do curbside service for those individuals. But believe it or not, most people want to come inside because I think they're kind of tired of being cooped up in the house. I told several people the first few days that we were given the vaccine, it was like a reunion in the health department where so many people had been in the house and they were coming in. It was kind of hard to tell them your time's up, you can go now. We were kind of running out of room. We continue to work together with our rural health network to target the different areas of the county. Michelle Cherry, who's with Vita Health, is headed up working with the local churches to provide the vaccine clinics. Freedom Hill is working with the Farmers Association to provide vaccine to the migrant population. And all of us stay in constant communication with each other. I can't say many weeks go by that I don't talk to everybody in the network. I had an interview with the mayor of Rocky Mount last Tuesday to talk about COVID in Edgecombe County. That was quite the experience. And I also continue to give updates as requested to the Rocky Mount Telegram and any other newspaper that, and Michelle Etheridge also helps provide some of these updates also. We've had 4 individuals assisting us from DHHS to enter our billing fees, which is billing information so we can bill to Medicare, Medicaid, and all the private insurance companies. And these 4 individuals are at no cost to us. They come to us from the state, so we're real proud of that. And having over 12,000 entries to put in, that's quite a feat to have to do. But they are over halfway done with it so far. And we still have our 14 guards, National Guard soldiers that are assisting us in the clinics daily and entering the data into the CVMS system. Any questions? Yes, ma'am.
I just heard you talking about billing and insurance. I had a question come to me as to why, when I went to another facility, they didn't ask for insurance. Why is Edgecombe County asking for it?
It's up for the agency. I'll say most places are billing insurance for the admin fee, not for the vaccine, but we're allowed to bill for the admin fee.
Other thing, I remember when we sent out the letters to the churches, I got a pastor called me today, was disappointed that they tried to work out a vaccination clinic at the church over in the East Tarboro area with our health department, which is right here, and they got the runaround, but they were able to get it through from a drug who's going to come and do a vaccination clinic on Thursday in the East Tarboro area, and I was wondering why that was.
Well, I've spoken to several individuals from different churches, And we've done a whole lot in churches where they would send, they got people that wanted it, and it was only 4 or 5 people. I know that Eastern Star, we have worked with them, and Michelle Cherry, we decided to split it up because Michelle Cherry was also working with that church and some other churches that we were also working with. We decided for better use of our time and to not overlap each other was to work with, that's the only church that I've really spoken to at.
But, you know, there are a cluster of churches all right there in that area, so Eastern Star is going to be the host. But I just want us to remember that, you know, during this time, we need to make sure that we are very cordial and respectful of our community who are trying to help us. And when they don't feel that way, they won't come to us.
I'd love to call you tomorrow to find out more.
And so anybody that may need it, Thursday, April 8th from 4 to 8, COVID-19 vaccination program via Eastern Star. And they're asking you to bring your insurance card. It will be done through Thorn Drug, who will be administering the Pfizer vaccine. All you have to do is call the church, 823-5117, and get an appointment. And that will be this Thursday from 4 to 8 o'clock. And so the Ministerial Alliance have gotten together, and they have 4 churches that are all going to be at Eastern Star, so that folks who are in walking distance over here in the eastern part can actually come and get the vaccine. So we just wanted to make sure. I did call and say, you know, it must have been some kind of understanding, because I know we really wouldn't turn people away. That's why we sent the letters out. But I just want to make sure that we're making sure that our churches understand that we're here to work with them to get everybody vaccinated.
The key there is getting everybody vaccinated.
Those that have taken the Moderna,
Right.
in the future, I guess that is what they need to always take, is the vaccine that they have started with.
I'm not really sure the answer to that question, but I can find out from Dr. Winslow and get back with you.
Let's get back to it's a public thing that anybody's taken one.
Now, if you took Moderna, the first shot Moderna, yes, you have to get the second shot.
And I'm saying that if you've taken the two, you know,
Right.
you know, in the future, if you need some booster, is that what you need to make sure that you get, or do you need, can you go to another vaccine?
I'm not really sure the answer to that
Okay,
question.
well, that's just,
I will find out that.
that's a general question that the public needs to probably
Yes.
know. Okay. Any other?
And just to add to that, if I could, Mr. Chairman, because of all of this is so new, that there's not much information out yet as far as what will be follow-up. We'll have to get revaccinated, so when, how soon, and what that would be like. And so, you know, a lot of these questions are sort of up in the air for everyone that's given the vaccine, but those are very good questions for people to have.
Any other questions before I have the word? Thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
At this time, we are to recess the regular Board of Commissioners meeting and convene as the Board of Equalization review. Is there a motion? Second. Motion. All in favor, let me know by vote sign aye. Aye. All opposed? Hearing none. We will now be, once the clerk present, we will be sitting as the Board of Equalization review. Madam Clerk.
Good evening,
Thank you.
Mr. Chair. Good to see you. Board of Commissioners, good to see everyone. County Manager, to all. Good evening. If everyone has your oath of office,
Oath of office is in disposal.
if you would stand. Those of you who are swearing on the Bible, if you'll place your left hand on the Bible and raise your right hand. Those that are affirming, just raise your right hand for me. Thank you. Each of you do solemnly swear or affirm that you will support and maintain the Constitution and the laws of the United States and the Constitution and laws of North Carolina, not inconsistent therewith, and that you will faithfully discharge the duties of your office as a member of the Board of Equalization and Review of Edgecombe County, North Carolina, and that you will not allow your actions as a member of the Board of Equalization and Review to be influenced by personal or political friendships or obligation. So help you God. Thank you so much. If you would each sign your oath, and I will come and pick it up and make sure that it's registered in my office.
Thank you, Madam Clerk.
Thank you, sir.
At this time, I'd like to call the Board of Legislative Review of Wood order. And we have adoption of the tax collector need to come.
Yes, I'd like to call my story to look at our tax administrator and guide us through the process.
Administrator, not collector.
That's correct.
Yes, sir, thank you. So you should have in your packet a notice of decision for a regular Board of Equalization and Review hearing that you would need to vote on and accept, and then a regular discovery bill notice of decision. So there's two different actions that need to be taken on those notices. I mean, have to answer any questions you might have for the difference of those.
Motion to approve the notice of decision. Second.
Second.
Questions? All in favor, let it be known by the voting sign aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing none, that is approved. Any other regarding the discovery bill?
Yes, sir.
Is there a motion to approve the decision regarding the discovery bill? Second.
Second.
Questions? All in favor, let it be known by the voting sign aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing none, they are approved. Go ahead.
Okay, so the other thing in your packet is just the appeals handbook that was last updated in February 2018. So I included that for y'all's review before we have any hearings. It'll be good to read the material if you're sleepy at night. But currently we do not have any appointments scheduled. Our last date to hear any will be the next board meeting, so on May 3rd at 7 o'clock. Hopefully we will be able to get through with it with no hearings this year.
Is there anything else to come before the board? Hearing none, with no scheduled appointment, is there a motion to recess the Board of Legislative Review until May 3rd, 2021, and reconvene regular Board of Commissioners? Question? All in favor, let it be known by the vote sign aye. All opposed? Hearing none, we now sit at the Board of Commissioners.
Thank you.
Thank you. Other petitions, Mr. Evans, do we have it?
I had none to accept.
None to
There's
accept.
someone here.
Anybody here? Other petitions? We do? Nobody signed up?
No, sir,
Nobody
nobody.
signed up. Other business, consideration of approval of budget amendments, anything that you brought to the board's attention?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman, or just a few I'd like to point out. If you'll note budget amendment number 15, again, the number at the top right corner of the budget amendment. This one in particular is corrected by another one that I'll point out in just a second. So number 15, asking that to be voided, not to be approved tonight.
That's the what?
Number 15 to be voided. We're replacing that one with another one.
Is that the one that we have here?
And the one that's inside of your agenda pack here?
You don't want to approve it?
Yes, sir, we're going to void that.
Okay.
And also number 17 as well. Budget amendment number 17 is corrected by actually budget amendment number 5. This is where we found that there was a duplicate. Number 5 is the correct one, so we're voiding number 17 as well. If you go to budget amendment number 18-2, just wanted to point this out, just to make sure that you, and we've talked about this before, just wanted us all to recall what we're doing here, especially when we see a budget amendment with such a large figure, $5.1 million. You recall that every year we budget in each department the amount of money that we project necessary to cover the health insurance premium for those employees in that particular department. And then what we have to do is to transfer that into the Fund 80 or the health insurance fund. And it is from that fund that we pay our obligations. We pay our claims, administrative costs, and prescription costs. So what this budget amendment does, it is now appropriating from across those departments a budget amendment to Fund 80 for the health insurance fund. So it's not new money, we're just bringing this out of general fund, budgeting it into the health insurance fund. Also at your place, you'll see 3 additional budget amendments. The first one, noted at the top, is 15-1. This was replacing number 15 that I just pointed out a moment ago. This is correcting budget amendment number 15 that you just saw a minute ago. And just to let you know, this is to appropriate in the health department additional federal funds that have come to the health department related to COVID. Brings that in as a revenue and then spreads that out over those expenditure lines. So we're very happy to see this additional funding. As you know, because of COVID, first with testing and now vaccination, some of our normal services or regular services had to be put on halt for some time, and so revenue was down, and this helps to replace that revenue. The second one is from the Tax Administration Office. It's just a very routine budget amendment, moving relatively small amount from one budget line to the others. And then the third one is for the Sheriff's Office, and this is to distribute additional donated funds, that have been donated to the Sheriff's Office for the firing range, an additional $30,000 that has been donated. So those are the ones in particular I wanted to point out. I'm happy to answer any questions that you have on any of the others.
Well, the ones here, I don't see the numbers on, I only see 15, revised 15. That's one. The one for the tax administration and the sheriff's office don't have numbers.
Yes, sir. Those were later items, just as that.
So how do we get down that?
That's fine. You can just approve them as blanket, approving all of the budget.
Okay. So would the motion be to approve all of the budget amendments with the exception of 15 and 17?
Yes, sir. That's correct.
Is there something else?
So moved. Second.
Question? All in favor, let it be known by the vote sign aye. All opposed? Hearing none, motion is approved. And that's inclusive of these.
Yes, sir.
Number B.
Item B is regarding demolition order for 123 Martin Sasser Drive. As I'm reading my memo, I'll ask Mr. Tina Braswell, who's our planning director, and Mr. Ray Hardy, who's our building inspector, to come to the podium just in case you have questions. A home located at 123 Martin Sasser Drive was destroyed by a fire in 2017. The remnants of which are unsafe and pose a threat to nearby residents after a complaint was received and subsequent inspection done. A public hearing was held in August of 2019. The owner was ordered to demolish the structure but has not complied. Therefore, I recommend that you approve the attached resolution ordering the building inspector to condemn the property, giving the owner 90 days to comply with the order. If at that time the owner has not, this will authorize the building inspector to have the structure demolished and removed, placing a lien against the real property for costs incurred. And you'll see we have a map there identifying the locations. Anything you can add to what I just read?
Since we waited so long, do we still need to wait 90 days?
It's part of the process, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And you know, it doesn't, when it first burned, it doesn't necessarily come to our attention. These code enforcement issues are driven by complaints. And once the complaint is received, it has to go through a pretty drawn out process. And it's geared towards giving the homeowner the opportunity to remedy the problem without us having to get involved.
So should something happen between that 90 days, it's on the owner.
That's right. Well, as far as,
I mean, should children be playing there, something happens, somebody get hurt?
oh yeah.
It'll be on the owner and not the county.
Sure, that's right. It's fully their liability.
Is there a motion to approve? Second.
Second.
Question. All in favor, let me know by vote sign aye. All opposed? Hearing none, it is approved. Thank you.
Thank you.
Number C.
Item C is regarding a resolution supporting the naming of Sunset Avenue Bridge over Wesleyan Boulevard in honor of Mr. Gus Tullis. You have for your review this resolution in your agenda packet. As you know, Mr. Tullis was a long-time member of the North Carolina Department of Transportation Board. He's very instrumental in lobbying for projects, and you know that can be very competitive across the state. In our region, in particular some in the county, including some of the more recent, more prominent ones, was a lot of the road work that was done in connection with the CSX project. So he has a long and very proven track record of looking out for our region and serving us well. So we are joining along with the city of Rocky Mount in this recommendation to name this bridge after Mr. Gus Tullis. That'd be my recommendation.
The motion to approve the
Yes.
second.
Second.
And second question. All in favor, let me know by vote sign aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing none, it is approved. D.
Item D is regarding the water and sewer capital improvements plan. Attached for your consideration is the water and sewer CIP. This provides a way to plan for the phased build out of needed infrastructure in the county, as well as capital purchases needed to maintain our existing system. This plan lists desired projects, planned capital purchases, estimated costs, and the number of citizens potentially benefiting from the project. I recommend the approval of the water and sewer capital improvement plan.
Motion. Second. Question. All in favor, let me know by vote sign aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing none, it is approved. Moving on.
Item E is regarding a purchase agreement for power stretchers and lift systems. Attached for your consideration is a purchase agreement with Stryker for the purchase and installation of power stretchers and lift systems for 3 of our new ambulances. The total cost is $110,338. Funds are already budgeted for this purchase. I recommend that you approve the purchase agreement as presented. And just as a note, we have already purchased one of these and one of the new trucks. I think when we had it on display here, you had the opportunity to see it. But there are pictures here in your package to show you what this looks like.
Motion. Question. All in favor, let me know by vote sign aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing none, it is approved. Next.
Item F, we have the opportunity to apply for funds to expand our water capacity at Kingsborough Industrial Park. We're currently able to serve all of the park with the existing infrastructure. However, increasing our capacity will allow us to pursue industrial clients who have a water volume demand greater than what we can currently provide. Therefore, I present for your consideration a resolution that will authorize us to submit an application to the North Carolina Department of Environmental Quality. I recommend that you approve the attached resolution as presented. And just as a note, you approved their similar resolution last year. We submitted, we were not selected. We had a strong application, so we are resubmitting this application.
Motion. Anybody approve?
So moved.
Second. Yes, sir. Question. All in favor, let me know how to vote sign aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing none, it is approved. Next.
Item G, Mr. Joe Powell has submitted a request to rename Bessemer Lane to Joe's Place. Section 20-37 of our Code of Ordinances requires a public hearing to be held before consideration of a road name change. Therefore, I recommend that you call for a public hearing to be held at your May 3rd meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Question? All in favor, let me know by the vote sign aye. All opposed? Hearing none, public hearing is closed.
Item H, annually we enter into an agreement with the North Carolina Division of Vocational Rehabilitation Services to assist eligible individuals in gaining employment. These services include counseling, training, education, transportation, job placement, assistive technology, and other support services. For these services, the county provides matching funds, which for FY22 will be $18,086. We also provide office space for their staff. I recommend the board approves the attached agreement and authorize the chairman to execute the same.
Motion?
Moved.
Motion second. Question? All in favor, let it be known by the vote sign aye. All opposed? Hearing none, it is approved. Go ahead.
Item I, attached for your consideration is a contract amendment with Southern Health Partners. Southern Health Partners provides health services on-site at Edgecombe County Detention Center. Sheriff Atkinson has requested Southern Health Partners to also provide mental health services. This amendment will add the services of a qualified mental health specialist for up to 4 hours per week. This will add $8,653 to the contract annually. I recommend that you approve the contract amendment with Southern Health Partners as presented.
Motion?
So moved. Second.
Question? All in favor, let it be known by the vote sign aye. All opposed? Hearing none, it is approved. We have appointment. The Ops Commission is a newly committed commission.
Yes, sir. And just to let you know, after this one appointment, the board will still have 5 other appointments for this seat. One of those will come as a recommendation from the Blunt Bridgers Foundation. And once we get those, we'll bring those to you.
The recommended appointment is Barbara Vickers is recommended. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved. Second.
Question? All in favor, let it be known by the vote sign aye. All opposed, hearing none, Mr. Vickers is appointed. Not for this, recess for review and approval, anything you want to the board attention?
No, sir, Mr. Chairman. I have to answer any questions that you have.
Is there a motion to approve? Second. Question?
Second.
Question, all in favor, let it be known by the vote sign aye. All opposed? Hearing none, it is approved. We have, reports that you have opportunity to review. Is there any questions related to water services or any comments from the manager?
No, sir.
Any questions on the financial summary report? Any questions on, any comments from you on that or solid waste?
I would like to point out, Mr. Chairman, regarding the solid waste report, what this is a report showing the amount of materials received in calendar year 2020 for roadside cleanup. This is a combination of what our staff clean up. Sometimes we'll get a report of a couch or a large pile of shingles. All of that is tallied under this. It also includes small groups that do cleanup. It also includes a contract with the NCDOT, hires anything they collect in the county, they bring to our landfill. So you'll see that in that year, over 86 tons of roadside debris was collected. And I wanted to bring this to your attention because there's been somewhat of a renewed interest, and we're grateful for that, of people wanting to see our county cleaned up. You'll see that we have a Recycles Day coming up. This is an annual event that we help sponsor our solid waste department along with Keep America Beautiful. So we have on-site document shredding, prescription medication drop-off. Our sheriff's department does a great job of collecting that, as well as electronics drop-off and recycling. That will be here at Administration Building, parking lot across St. Andrew Street. Also, there's our spring litter sweep that will be on April the 17th. And thirdly, I wanted you to see, this is the group. It's spearheaded by Ms. Pat Petrozello as well as Ms. Renee Anderson and some other concerned citizens who want to see our county cleaned up and encouraging people to do that. So they've been working with us as well as the town and city of Rocky Mount. They are encouraging volunteer groups to get out. And they've started this Facebook page, Keep Edgecombe Clean and Green, and it's been nice to see the activity that we've seen there. So we hope that that momentum continues. No, certainly, this is not a problem just in Edgecombe County. We see it all over the state, but, you know, obviously, we're most concerned about Edgecombe. We'd love to see, number one, people stop throwing trash along the side of our roads, and number two, we'd love seeing volunteers helping us to clean up these sites.
Question? Right.
Have we had any problems with dead animals, or especially deer, in our area?
From time to time, yes, sir. DOT does a good job, normally of coming back cleaning the roads up from that, but yes, sir.
Is that based on state roads and county roads?
Yes, sir.
Any other questions or comments? If not, move on to the manager's report. Go ahead, Mr. Evans.
Manager's report, you know, we have been doing some things promoting parks and recreation. Wanted you to be aware that this Thursday evening, we are having a virtual public input meeting. We're in the process of developing a comprehensive parks and recreation plan. And this includes gathering public comments. Because of COVID, we're hesitant about gathering a group of people, a large group of people in the room for public comments. So we're doing this virtual public input meeting this Thursday, just to gauge people's opinions on what is available, how we can improve that, but also what can we do in the future to add opportunities for recreation in the county. We're grateful for NC State continuing to work with us through our Parks Extension Office as well as some of our other departments. We have our Parks and Rec Task Force that's been meeting for about 2 years now, working on these things. Once we have this comprehensive Parks and Rec plan in place, that positions us to pursue some grant funds that require that you have such a plan. We'll recognize the town of Tarboro, the city of Rocky Mount, Pine Top, Speed, and a number of other towns that have been working with us in this effort. So just wanted you to be aware of that. You have your workforce development indicator report there in your packet. Want to remind you of our annual joint meetings with the 2 school boards. With Edgecombe Schools, it's May 6th at 7 o'clock. We'll be following up with details about where we're going to meet, that type of thing, but I did want to make sure you had that on the calendar. We have proposed May 10th for Nash County Schools. Still have not gotten confirmation from the superintendent. He's following up with his board members. I don't believe that's going to be an issue, so if you would just pencil in May 10th at 7 o'clock, and again, we'll follow up with you on the details for that. Item D, as you'll remember, we are doing a redraft, update of our Unified Development Ordinance. You had a work session about a month ago to hear a presentation on the first part of that. We need to follow up and have this second meeting. I propose that we do that April 12th, which is next Monday at 10 o'clock. It's the time that we had the last one. And if that works for everyone, we will plan and prepare for that.
Does that work for you?
On Monday,
Yes, ma'am.
at 10 o'clock. Is it virtual? No? Face to face?
Well, we can set it up for a Zoom. You'll remember that you all made a change to your meeting requirements where you can meet virtually, you still have to have a quorum first.
I may
So
not make it
it,
either.
what is that?
I may not make it either.
Seems like we need another date.
Okay.
Unless you can do afternoon.
So you got, can you suggest another date for us?
Well, let us get back with you. I need to check with the
So right now, it is at 3 people, so that's scheduled another date.
Also, want to share with you an award that the Wooten Company received. The Wooten Company, as you know, they do a lot of engineering work for the county. They have been involved in some of the work at Kingsborough Industrial Park. They submitted this to the American Council of Engineering Companies of North Carolina as for the 2021 Honors Award, and they received the award based on their work at Kingsborough Industrial Park. So The award is actually presented to both the Wooten Company and Edgecombe County, and it's for engineering excellence in wastewater and stormwater for the project at Kingsborough Mega Site. So, we're pleased about that. Certainly, a lot of work has been going on at Kingsborough for a number of years. We thank Norris and Ivy for their leadership and getting our industrial park to the point that it is. Afghan engineers out of Rocky Mount, they have done a significant amount of work on Kingsborough as well, but I just wanted to make you aware that we, along with Wooten Company, did receive that award from Kingsborough Industrial Park.
Anything from commissioners?
I'm sorry, Mr. Wiggins, there is one last piece of business that I would like to, I didn't have it on the agenda, but if I could, I would like to, if I could add this. And I think for this one, we'll come to the podium. So, speaking of Kingsborough Industrial Park, you all know that we have a new road that runs from Kingsborough Road through the park, comes out on 64 alternate. The road has been there for some time now. It's not open to public traffic, but it's been there for some time. Well, we've got to name that road. And I have a recommendation and suggestion for the naming of that road. And I recommend that we name that road. And this comes also from Norris and Ivy, naming that road the Leonard Wiggins Parkway. And if I could, I'd like to read this. I'd ask that the board.
BTR?
Well, it can't make it
I want you to
sound
know I know.
Oh, okay.
I want you to know I know nothing about this. Okay.
So the letter, I would recommend that all the commissioners to sign on, that we can send this to NCDOT, says, the Edgecombe County Board of Commissioners is pleased to recommend naming our new industrial access road into our 2,000-acre Kingsborough Business Park, Leonard Wiggins Parkway. Mr. Wiggins, current chairman of the Board of Commissioners, has served on this board for 28 years and has been chair for the last 10 years. He's been an active public servant for most of his adult life, chairing numerous boards, including Edgecombe County Social Services Board and Edgecombe Community College Board. Chairman Wiggins is a graduate of Shaw University. The majority of his public service career was with the North Carolina Human Relations Commission, where he served as the Human Relations Specialist and Supervisor of Investigations. Though retired from that position, he is still very active as a small business owner. Mr. Wiggins also served in the United States Army. He is married to Selma Wiggins, and they have one adult son, the Honorable Lamont Wiggins, North Carolina Superior Court Judge. And
Correction, I was not chairman of the community college. I was a member of the board. Okay.
You should have been chair.
That's a good answer.
Guarantee that you should have been chair. But Ivy or Norris, I don't know if there's anything. Ivy called me one day and she said, I got a suggestion for naming that road. And just as I was about to say Mr. Wiggins' name, she said, and we were both thinking and met at the intersection for a great idea.
Well, we obviously are very pleased to recommend the chairman to name this road. We have discussed it with our colleagues at the Department of Transportation, and they also believe, Mr. Chairman, that it is a marvelous idea. And if Chairman Ding were here, he'd also say it's a great idea.
I'm honored that somebody thought that it should be named. So, should I carry this motion? Huh?
That'll be fine.
You need board approval.
We need a motion, yes, sir.
Is there a motion?
So moved. Second.
Questions? All in favor, let it be known by the vote sign aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing none, it appears that we got a recommendation. Okay. Thank those for you for that consideration. Is there anything else to be brought to the board?
Nothing else from me, sir.
Commissioner report, anything from the commission? Hearing none, anything from our attorney?
No, sir.
Hearing none, at this time, ladies and gentlemen, we go into closed session to discuss an economic development matter. Is there a motion to go into closed session? Second. Question? All in favor, let it be known by the vote sign of aye. All opposed? Hearing none, at this time, we go